Before becoming the cantor at Temple Israel, I was the assistant cantor at a very large congregation in the northern suburbs of Chicago. The cantor I worked with there, Cantor David Goldstein, was my mentor and my teacher. One thing we spoke about repeatedly was, not surprisingly, the music of the synagogue. He and I shared similar concerns for the survival of our sacred musical traditions while incorporating the beautiful new music being composed today. He told me, one of the biggest mistakes of the cantorate currently is that we are not taking advantage of today's composers who compose for Broadway, opera, and symphonic works. He feels we have relied too heavily on the current folk music wave, and that we don't have a big enough variety of music being composed today. Like most of what he taught me, I took this comment very seriously. In 2009, when I was interviewing for a new temple accompanist, right before the high holidays of my first year working here, a recommendation for Dina Pruzhansky was given to me by another musician. I quickly saw how talented Dina was at the piano and that she could play any piece of music I tossed at her. Sometime in the winter of 2009-2010, I went to hear Dina's graduate recital in the city. At this recital, she had singers sing some of her musical compositions. And as soon as I heard her amazing compositions, I said to myself, she's the one. I decided that night that I would eventually have the temple commission her to compose music for the Shabbat evening service. The process has been a long and beautiful one. Watching Dina grow into her role here as temple accompanist and taking on learning the deeper meanings behind our liturgy and sacred texts has been inspiring. She has written several pieces of music for the high holidays. I've seen Dina on countless occasions pouring herself into each precious note as she was composing for our worship services. I just have to mention Eddie now, too, because I consider Eddie and Dina my friends and my right and left arms here at the temple. We are blessed to have such wonderful people and such talented musicians to grace us with their sacred sounds. Eddie has done amazing work bringing out lovely, rich sounds from our choir, doing Dina's music justice. Dina's compositions are very unique. She has a gift for writing musical lines that are both simple and complex at the same time. She also knows how to write music for the people she is writing music for. Without further ado, I would like to call up Dina to share her words with us.
Okay, now the tough part starts. Well, writing music and playing is easier. Speaking in front of congregation in your third language is, well, I'll try, okay? So, Cantor, I didn't know you were that sneaky, that you had this idea. To me, it felt completely gradual, a process. Why won't you write a song, and why won't you write another song, and now let's write one for record. Hey, how about the whole service, huh? And wow. But I'm so grateful for that. I was actually thinking of saying something else, but what you said evoked train of memories from my side, so I think I'm going to share my take on this interview and how it felt to me playing all that music. Here I am. I'm a graduate managed student, and I'm a pianist. I'm a composer. And I'm thinking what to do next when, after the hot house of the school ends, as every freelance musicians. And I'm thinking to myself, why? I would like to have outside the concert or something, some job that would be constant and permanent on a regular basis, that would involve some playing and fun. And I did not have any background at all in liturgy music, or I'm an Israeli, yes, but we, at least in my neighborhood or where I was, you could be either secular Israeli or spiritual secular, or if you attend a shul, which I attempted once, it would be, it would be an Orthodox synagogue. So when I was thinking about a community or a synagogue or a temple or anything related to religion, I would flash back the only experience that I had back then. And when it comes to liturgy, I would think of a beautiful male rabbi chanting a cappella. And so a friend of mine told me that, there's a synagogue where you can play in a company, and why won't you try that? And so I decided to come. I've heard about Devorah, and I decided to come and see if I'm right for the job and if the job is right for me. And I come, Devorah greets me, and the first thing she says, "So, how comfortable are you with playing the variety of Reform liturgy music?" And I made a long ride to this place, and I really sensed a strong desire to go home. But then I gathered all my Israeli chutzpah that I learned from being in Israel, looked at her straight and said, "Test me." And so she did. And it was probably the craziest jam, I don't know what to call it, but session of music that I ever had in my life. Because she would pull out all sort of music that was sounded completely different, but still it was extremely beautiful every time. And it was so interesting, and it made me as busy as I was to just follow her and trying to make a sense of it all. I enjoyed this session so much. There was something unifying, all this mind-blowing variety of this music. And I said, so that's Reform liturgy. That's very interesting. And by that time, I did confess to Devorah. I said, "Am I doing okay? This is the first time I'm doing this." And she said, yeah, you have a sense for it. Yeah, I'll coach you if something wrong. So, yes, and I started this job, and very quickly, I started to forget that it is a job. Week after week, I would come and I would find people who are so warm and so welcoming, who are so simple and unpretentious and loving and embracing. And I realized after some time that it is a synagogue, is a home away from home. It is a home for me, my link to my home, which is Israel. And I feel so wonderful and so comfortable here with all these people, starting with Devorah, in whom I found a true friend, and everyone else. And so it's word by word, sermon by sermon, something thought-provoking by Rabbi Jake, and words of wisdom by Rabbi Ferris, and here and there, gradually things just start fall into place. And I never thought I would be so blessed to be here. And it is easier for me to speak music than to speak languages, because it is really probably my first language. And I hope what I cannot really transfer here in my English, I hope that you hear that I put so much love into this music, and this service to me is really nothing else that my own personal way of saying thank you to all of you for making me blossom as a person and as a spiritual person that I would never thought would happen, and it is still ongoing process. But this moment right here, I know and I feel that this is a milestone, and I thank all of you for that, for being such a wonderful family and a home away from home. And and it was, despite Cantor's gradual building up of her assignments, it was a big undertaking, this service. And I just want to mention all this amazing, astonishing people that made this work. Glee Club, you're awesome. You are just, I wish I would learn things so quickly as you do, and just make them look so easy. It's just like, it's amazing, and you give me and all of us, I know, so much joy. There's nothing more comforting than hear all of you sing. Halil Bashir, I'm speechless. I don't know what to say. It surpassed any dream what you did. And I want to thank you for all the dedication and all the long hours of rehearsals that you came in here after day of work and put so much into the service. Thank you so much. I don't know if I deserve it, but you were just amazing. And thank you, Steve, for sharing your musical talents with us so beautifully and taking part in this. Our choir director, that is, to me, it's always a mystery and a miracle. How he works, what he does, but it's always fantastic. It's always amazing. And, and all the rehearsals are so much fun. How you combine how you combine all this fun with such a high artistic and professional quality is a mystery in itself. But here you are, and I'm so grateful for both things. And then, of course, the key to this all, what happens, is Cantor Avery, that I spoke a little bit already about. One of her great traits is her modesty, but Cantor Avery, you will have to listen to this. And I don't know what the temple was like before she came. I know that she was new and I was new as well. But I saw what happened with me, and I saw what happened with other people and with all group of people, especially with music. I remember how I would come and play, and the 3 kids who would call themselves a choir, 3 shy young kids would sing. And from there on, when she joined this temple, things just grew and exploded. We have not only the people that you see right now, the Glee Club and the adult choir. There is Sela, which is an amazing and very talented group of teenagers that came out of this Glee choir, and that make me think that they will go some wonderful places with their music. And I just heard that there's an a cappella women chorus that just starts. There are jazz services, and there's a band that is so joyful. And the person who is behind all the programming, all the scheduling, behind of getting all of us together, and the person who inspires us so much with that and make all of us volunteers and professionals at once to really want to do these things, to really engage in that on regular basis and do all these things. It takes so much dedication, so much work behind the scenes that you don't even know about, so much talent, leadership, and vision that I don't know, maybe many would not expect from someone in her early 30s. And I'm thanking you for your personal coachings. Remember the high holiday, the first one? And all for introducing me to this wonderful world that I didn't know, and doing this so wonderfully. Thank you. Thank you, Rabbi, and thank you, the President, for allowing all this to happen tonight. Thank you so much, everyone.